Hi everybody, thank you for joining me today. Today I'm going to be sharing with you one of the projects I'm working on for November. It's a daily photo journal. It's being hosted by feedyourcraft.com and the hashtag is hashtag mythankful30. So it's 30 prompts for a November daily photo journal, and these are the prompts that she gives you. I'm using these, so you can also use your own and make your own, but I decided just for convenience sake I was going to use her prompts. Because my traveler's notebook journal doesn't have as many pages as there are prompts, I've combined some of the prompts, and then there are a few that I just got rid of. As you can see, a trip, like we don't have any trips planned in November, and there wasn't really a significant trip that I wanted to document, so I just kind of tailored it to my needs that way. But I'm using a Studio Calico traveler's notebook. This was part of the October 2019 subscription set. It came with some die cut flowers that are really pretty. So what's great about using the kit is that it already has some of the colors. The color scheme is already kind of figured out for you. So I just went in, I added some of my own, some washi that I'll be using for this layout, Crayola Supertips that I'll be using for coloring, my Tombow marker. I'll be using the 3 and the 5. If I can just find my 5 here somewhere. Okay, I've misplaced my 5, but the Tombow number 5. Not to be confused with Mambo number 5. No, I'm just kidding. It's a shareable joke. I also printed out these stickers for putting on my photos. I really like when you get the chipboard stickers, but I didn't have any, so I just made my own. And then the stamps I'll be using, I'm using the Brilliance Pigment Ink Graphite Black ink pad, and then I'm using the Feed Your Craft border stamp set. And then I'll also be using the Studio Calico Mega Date stamp. It's really fun. I'll show you what I've done so far. So basically this is the mega stamp. There you have your border stamp. Here's some embellishments. I added some washi. There's another border stamp, and then outlined the edges of the page with the Crayola Super Tip. So the prompt I'm going to be working on today is favorite TV show. A TV show or movie. So coming in November, it's the next season of The Crown, and I'm super excited. So this prompt falls on November 10th, and I know the show only premieres November 27th, but I'm excited for it, so we're gonna document that The Crown is starting up. I haven't set my stamp to November 10th. November 10th. Oh my goodness. Okay, so we have November 10th ready to go. Okay, so I'm going to share with you some of my tips and tricks as we go along. First tip I'm going to give you is when you're doing the borders of your pages, just put a sheet in between so that you can you don't have overflow onto the next or last page. And then I'll just go over it a couple times just to get the opacity that I want. Oops. So I like putting borders around my stuff because I feel like it gives it a finished look that I really like. As you can tell, doesn't quite look harmonious just yet, but once you get the colors going. So like I said, using the kit and the flowers that were included in the kit, I was able to pick my color scheme off of that, and then the crown, like picking up the yellow in there, is gonna tie the two together, and then the washi as well. So We'll get to that in a second. So what I ended up doing with the Studio Calico notebook is it wasn't quite, the pages weren't in an order that I liked. So taking a page out of Michelle Baxter's book, I undid it. I undid the booklet, the Traveler's Notebook, and I reorganized the pages in a way that I wanted and that made sense to my project. It was a little bit of a nightmare getting everything back in place, but I did it in the end. I ended up having to manually put the staples back in. So that was, I can post a tutorial for that one day if you guys are interested in seeing it. And then just freehanding a border. Just to add more finish to the book. Okay, so what I did in a previous layout, and I ended up really liking it, was adding shadow for dimension. So I'm just using my grey Crayola Supertip, and this is the one that has a bit of a sheen to it. This is my favorite grey Supertip, and then I'm just going to go in and add shadow to the letters. And although it's very subtle, but it makes a difference. So yeah, very, very subtle, but as you can see, the letters are starting to pop and give it a bit more personality just by simply adding a shadow. Okay, so as you can see, there's a lot more dimension. There are a couple places where I went over the lines because the tip is just kind of, it's getting soft and losing some of its stiffness. So I'm going to be using a jelly roll in size 10 just to go in and clean it up a little bit. Just where I kind of got a little overzealous with the marker. And as you can tell, like, that actually got rid of quite a bit of the marker that I drew over. Okay, so I've already put tape on the back of this, so we're just gonna peel this guy off. You can also use double-sided tape, but I've had some of this, oh sorry, the tape runner, but I've had this double-sided tape for a while now. I just want to get rid of it. Okay, so decide where to put it. Actually, I'm gonna put it over there. Okay, and I'm gonna pick up 5 again and just draw a loose border around the picture. And then just to give it that rough look, I just go over it again. If you like your line straighter, you can use a ruler. You can just wing it once and call it a day. But I like it a little bit rougher. Okay, so here we're gonna go use my stamp and my ink. Okay. going to be a little awkward under the camera, so you just have to bear with me. I feel like a giant librarian with this thing, but it's so much fun. Come on. Okay. So we're gonna stick this guy right there. There we go. So there's the date portion of it. Okay, then I'm gonna grab some of my washi. I unfortunately don't remember where I got this washi from, but I feel like it fits in perfectly with this theme. So we're gonna do that. Just grabbing my Cricut scraper thing to do that. And then I only want a small yellow accent. I don't want anything too big. So I'm just going to grab my scissors and chop this guy a little bit. It's probably the most awkward way ever, but actually, let's try again. Okay. Just gonna put this one back down. Okay. There we go. And then I'm thinking I want to add a flower in the corner. That looks like a crown a little bit. The red might not be working. I've got some orange and a little leaf over the top. Yeah, that works. Okay. I don't know where that went. I'm just going to grab my tape runner. Okay. Now, when it comes to attaching embellishments, you can use whatever you want. Sometimes I'll use sewing, sometimes I'll use a stapler, but just given that I'm using the front and back of these pages, I'm just using glue. Just using glue for now. Okay, and then I just wanted to add one more detail to the spread. Just to balance it out a little bit, I'm going to put a bit of washi in the corner here as well. Okay. And then this pre-cut washi, which is fantastic. Just gonna put that guy off there. Stick it down there. And then I'm gonna use the details stamp. I've been kind of alternating between using the noted and the details. So, yeah, I'm just gonna keep doing that. Okay. Now, if you're wondering about my stamping techniques, I actually do have a video, or a blog post about the best stamping techniques you can use. So you can definitely check that out if you are curious. But like most things, the biggest thing about stamping, oh sorry, I'm off the screen there for you. There we go. The biggest thing about stamping is, just like everything else, practice. I hate when people tell me, oh, you know, it's just more practice, it's more practice. And it's like, well, don't always have time. So here's the little sticky note, and I'm gonna, the little stickers that I cut, and I'm gonna stick that guy up there. Okay, so there it is. My hashtag Thankful30 November 10th prompt, which I picked TV instead of movie. So I hope you got some ideas. I hope you enjoyed the video. A couple other things, sorry, I just want to add here what I mentioned. Just again with my white jelly roll. Just to add a little bit of dimension. And there you go. That is my November 10th prompt. Thank you for joining me today. I hope you got some inspiration. Please check out my Instagram and my website, where I will be sharing more of my notebook. Thank you so much.